Oh, it looks like we're live. Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Steve Loper. I'm with the Heavy Hitter Podcast, aka Lopercon, on social media websites. If you enjoy this video later, be sure to hit the sub button. Uh, but I'm going to bring some value today to a lot of the folks that want to start a podcast but don't really know how to get started. I'm going to show you just how easy it is. I'm just a regular dude, right? I've got a full-time job. I've got 3 kids, a wife. I wanted to start a podcast, and I do it now in a matter of minutes. I'm going to walk you through it today. I'm going to share my screen with you and sort of show you the step-by-step process that I learned that works for me, that takes a minimal amount of time, minimal amount of skill, and minimal amount of effort, and still produces a very, very good quality podcast that people are seeming to enjoy. So let me get started here. What I'm going to do first is just basically share my screen with you. So just give me a second and bear with me. I just did the same thing a few minutes ago and my mic got pulled out. So I hope you guys can hear me now. So this is my second screen that you guys are seeing here. And the first thing that you want to do whenever you start a podcast is, where do I record my podcast? How do I do it? Well, all you need is a mic, a camera, and a computer. Then you just basically go to YouTube, and I will pull up YouTube and slide it over there for you to see it in just a second. So here is YouTube, okay? So this is my screen that you're seeing. All I do is go to my account over here in the top right, and I click on Creator Studio. When I'm at Creator Studio, I just go down to live streaming. Live streaming, I hit that button, and then I always just use events. This is just the way I've learned it. There might be other ways to do it, but this works for me. And this is where I recorded it earlier that you're seeing on the screen here, so don't pay any attention to that. I've already deleted that one. But I click on New Live Event. New Live Event. This is starting a podcast right here. Test podcast is what we're going to call it. It's going to go on today. We're going to do a description. We're just doing a test, but this block is where you're going to, in where I put test podcast, you might be talking about baseball or basketball or Stanley Cup finals or something along those lines. So you just make it as interesting as possible. And then you repeat the title down here again in the description area. And after that, you would put in just a bunch of other information. Other info, info that relates here. All right. And then tags, as many tags as you can absolutely think of that will work with your podcast. So this would be like podcasting, how to start a podcast. I'm sure you guys love how I like read the way I type, or type the way I read. Or okay, but anyhow, that's enough. But all you do from there is you hit the go live button. And when you hit the go live button, it brings you to another screen, which I will try to show you. It's going to be really ugly here for a second, but I just want you to give you an idea. It's basically a Google Hangouts screen. And at the bottom, it has a little red button. Normally that will be green to hit green for start recording. And then it's red to hit stop for stop recording. But I'm going to go ahead and show that to you real quick as well. So this is what it looks like. It's going to get kind of jumbled up because there's so many images going into it. But you see at the bottom, it says stop broadcast. That's all I would do is hit stop broadcast. In the top left corner, you'll see you can share screen. You can do some cameraman work, control room, all that good stuff. I will stop sharing that with you because that is kind of just crazy looking. I don't know how to make it look any better. You'll see my little error here too on this screen, but no big deal. So that is where you would basically start your podcast. So whenever you hit the record button, the way I do it is I say, okay, to my co-host, Josh, are you ready? And he says, yeah. I say, all quiet on set. Hit the record button. As soon as it shows me it's recording, I'll say, hey, my name's Steve Loper. I'm with the Heavy Hitter Podcast. I've got my co-host, Josh Johnson, up in Minnesota. How's it going, Josh? Let me tell you about what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about these 3 topics, and that's sort of the way I get things rolling. Then the conversation starts. We're in the middle of the podcast from there on, whether it lasts 10 minutes or an hour and 10 minutes. That's perfect. Whenever it's done, we will wrap it up. All right. Talk to you guys later. Hope you enjoyed it. Blase, blase. You hit stop broadcasting. And that's it. So now you've recorded. Now you're completely done with your recording process. What that does, as soon as you hit stop recording, it shoots your video over to your YouTube account. And that's where it sits. It sits there and it's live on YouTube. You can go watch it. You can email it. You can copy the link, whatever you want to do. So that's, you already have video content. So you captured everything. And this is really useful for capturing clips. So if somebody says something interesting, you can then learn how to clip a certain section of the podcast and use it to promote the podcast on other social platforms and drive them back to wherever you want them to go. So after you've hit that, let me share my screen again. Oh, shared the wrong screen. So let me share this screen here. Okay, so after you've done that, you're good to go. So I'm just going to start over at YouTube. So say we've completed our podcast and we're good to go. All right, so now I would go back to my channel and I would find the video that we just shot. So say it's this Heavy Hitter 16 Vegas trip, fake followers, and whatever else it says. But I would click on that. All I do is go up here, I copy the link, copy that. It's talking in my ear there, so I couldn't hear it. So I copied that link, and then what I want to do is turn that link into an MP3. So this is an MP4 video file. What we want to do is change it into just an audio file. So I just type in YouTube to MP3, and it pulls up this YouTube MP3.cc. I don't know how legit this site is, but it works for me and doesn't give me any problems at all. I just right click, I paste the link, and hit convert. What that does is it converts the video into an MP3. I think it says on here nothing more than 2 hours. So you just got to make sure you're within those time limits. And what that's going to do is convert it, and you're going to download it. Once it converts and does what it has to do here, you hit download, and it might take 5 or 10 minutes, depending on how long the content is. So we're just going to assume that's done. All right. So this is already done. It's already downloaded. I've saved it to my computer. So we're good to go with this part. The next step is Audacity. I pulled this link over here. You download this little Audacity program. It's totally free. Doesn't cost a penny to use. And you open that up. First things first, I always hit open and I pull in my intro. So this is my intro. All right. And this is something I've pre-recorded. Let me hit play, see where it comes from. Yeah, so you guys can probably hear that.
Welcome to the Heavy Hitter Podcast with your hosts Josh Johnson and Steve Loper. This podcast was recorded using YouTube.
All right, and to record that, all you need to do is just use like your Apple, your Mac, or something like that, and find some video off of some music off of YouTube. Go ahead and download that. I use iMovie to make this little clip, so I pulled them in the music, and then I let the music play, and then I hit the little voiceover button, and I just came up with my little, "Hey, this is Steve Loper with the Heavy Hitter Podcast. I'm joined by my guest host Josh Johnson, and we recorded this podcast using YouTube." And then I let it go into the actual podcast. What I like to do first is hit that little magnifying glass and hit it 3 or 4 times. What that does is it gives me a really close definition of where the podcast starts, where it ends. Actually, first of all, what I wanted to do is import. I want to import audio, and say we just recorded the Heavy Hitter 3. It's not the one we just recorded, but I'm trying to do this live. It's kind of the first time I've done this, but I think this is a really helpful way to show you guys exactly how I do it. So this should just take a couple seconds here. And again, my name is Lopercon. If you enjoy what you're seeing, the how-to video, please hit subscribe on YouTube. You can also find me on Instagram or Twitter at Lopercon. All right, so we are here. We are here. We can get rid of this. All right, we need to hit that magnifying glass against this. We just added that. So you can see by hitting the magnifying glass, it's going to make it a lot easier for me to line up the end of this audio here with this audio. So once I've done that, I hit this little, what's it called? Time shift tool. And I just click here and I drag this to say right there. It looks about right. Looks like that music's going to end and that's going to start. And then I just hit play to test that out.
And you're live. What's up, Heavy Hitters?
Whoa, we got loud on that one. Anyway, so that sounds perfect, right? Let me try it again just to make sure.
This podcast was recorded using YouTube. And you're live. What's up, heavy hitter?
Yep, that's it. Okay. So now we've got our intro with our music, our little recorded intro, and then it goes directly into the podcast. So that's perfect. So now I'm just going to hit file. I'm going to hit save project as, whatever those warnings say. And I'm just going to hit save. All right. I don't really need to save this one because I'm going to show you from there. So you say you've got it saved and it's already on your computer. So you're good to go. So now you are done with YouTube. You're done with Google. You're done with Audacity. And there's only one step left. We're not going to save that. Now we just go to Anchor. All right. And Anchor is going to be used to upload your podcast anywhere that you want it to go. So I'm already logged in here, and you can see, guys, that I'm fairly new to this. I've got 16 episodes out. We've got 221 downloads, an average of 15.8 plays. We're growing. All right. You see the peak there. This is where it started. 25 plays that month. Then we really boomed up, and we're down here, but we're going to keep adding content. And if I break this down to you, you can see that sort of a weekly scale, we are on the right track. We are on the right track. Everything is just sort of trending upwards. And that's where we want to be headed. But so say we're good to go. I'm going to pull up this PC where I have have everything recorded. And then I'm going to go to my Audacity folder, which is going to be here, and say it was Heavy Hitter 7 that we just recorded. All I do is drag it over. And whenever I drag it over, that's it. It's uploading here. You can see it processing. I'm going to put in a name. I'm going to call it Heavy Hitter 13. You know, Steve and Josh talk about this. And down in the description, I'm going to say we talk about what's trending on Twitter today. It might have been National, Teachers Day. So we might say something nice to the teachers. We might talk about the trip I took to Las Vegas. And then we might talk about a situation that came up with our family the other day and how we persevered. But that's pretty much it. As soon as that's done, you hit the publish button and it's automatically published to Anchor, and Anchor then takes care of it and sends it over to iTunes. They send it to YouTube. They send it to any other places that podcasts are available, and maybe not all of them, but 5 or 6 or so. But it's really enough to get things started. You can share your iTunes link. You can share your Anchor link. You've got the video on YouTube. That's really it. I hope this wasn't too fast. I hope it helps out. If you have any questions, feel free to leave comments below. Feel free to reach out to me on social media at LoperCon on Instagram, at LoperCon on Twitter, and also find us on YouTube and just leave questions there. That is it. I hope you are having a great day, and I hope you'll hit the subscribe button on YouTube. These how-to videos is sort of giving away value. And a lot of people have the question about how to get started with $0, 0 cents. And this is it. That's it. I'm your boy at LoperCon. Talk to you later. Have a good day.